Hi, welcome into my channel. This is Phoenix Arc Tarot. My name is Firestorm Shan. I'm doing a general energy check-in for August the 23rd, 2026. I'm getting a message here, collective, that is talking about, for some of us, that this is resonating with, and use your own discernment, okay? There may or may not be a message in here for you, but this is for a message for someone here. How you've been loyal to things that you really don't have your heart completely in. It's just more being caught up in the routine, maybe codependent on things that you just kind of lost the drive for, but you do it anyway. Um, it is creating a little bit of something toxic in our life when we deny ourselves to be truly happy, when we're not loyal to our own selves, our own purposes, our own destinies, our own callings. I've got loyal heart in the reverse. It's a protection message from the Wisdom of the Oracle. I've also got exchanging gifts in the reverse. This is kind of like, do you have what it takes to really go after what you truly want? So if you want to be a musician, you have to practice every day. If you want to be a dancer, you have to practice every day. You have to practice at developing those gifts. And there's a sense of maybe codependency here of an addiction or a distraction that keeps you from being loyal to what you truly desire. Then there's a sense of no place like home, but it's in the reverse as well. Not being at home with yourself, not being able to truly, build upon what you truly desire, what your truly wishes are. There's a sense here of getting what you want, but be careful what you ask for because sometimes we ask amiss. This has been coming out a lot lately in these messages. What if you're always just wanting to fulfill other people's wishes and you put yours on the back burner? It's a little bit of the message that is coming forward for Saturday's message too, a little bit. Get ready for some change in that area. It's what's being called for. All right, there is some lessons from the past that need to be incorporated, a sense of getting what you want, but juggling. So if you want that job to become that manager, do you have it in your a schedule to allow for that extra responsibility or accountability? Do you have what it takes? It's a question here asking you, do you have what it takes? It's a thought-provoking message of don't try to settle down too quickly because you're in the middle of change and transformation. There's a real sense of some justice wanting to come in for you. A truth, Ace of Swords, Justice, the Star card, Libra, Aquarius. I've got the World card here and the Moon. Be not afraid. Step into this next new lunar cycle. Think about where you're truly not living up to your own highest expectation and diminishing your light for another. Now, there is a time for this. I'm hearing this conversation that I had. I'm going to make this short. This is a Sunday message, so perhaps you're one that attends churches and like I used to do. There was a pastor who used a scripture verse, and it felt a little manipulative to me now that I look back at it. At the time, though, it was like, this is what we do, we serve, that Virgo energy of servitude. But at what cost? And so this pastor had said, sow into me first, and then God will bless you. Or he would say, build up my business, my kingdom first, and then God will build yours because I'm the leader of us all. God speaks to me. There's Bible verses that are in the Bible that talks about sowing seeds into the priest. It's Jewish customs, tithes and offerings and things like that. But the fact of the matter is we know in today's society that it's gotten very perverted. But I believed that back then, and I wasn't getting the results I was looking for. I was actually getting the opposite. My marriage was starting to struggle. This man was getting to the point where uh we had developed a friendship, as well as a working relationship. And I remember him still not getting what he needed to get his kingdom built, and me pulling money out of my wallet, going through a hardship and giving him my last dime because he's the pastor of the church, believing by faith that God would take care of me. And I was actually couch surfing at the time and staying in other people's house. These are called cults, folks. These are religious cults, love bombing you. There is a certain truth to building another person's vision, but it needs to be done in equal give and take relationship, not through manipulation and control tactics. So be careful about trying to put roots down here, because justice is here. There's some legalities, karmic ties here that are coming to the light. What's going on in your life? I just shared you one of my past stories. It's a story from 15, 16, 17 years ago. It's an old story when I was much younger, but some things are coming to a conclusion. Things are coming open to the world to see very clearly. The truth will be seen by all. If we're talking about religious political leaders as the world global terms, then yes, those are going to be coming to the surface as well. This eclipse is bringing forth accountability of to these people in leadership, and accountability in ourselves to recognize when we're being used, when we're being deceived, and how to step into our purpose and our callings and our destiny. So the star card is here saying the situation is going to be rectified and healed. There is a wish fulfillment here, but we are going to have to take a look into the darkness and expose some things. And that's what we're doing here on this channel called Phoenix Arc Tarot. We're going into the darkness. We're going deep. We're pulling things up from the surface. What's holding you back? What are you tied to? We've got the Devil card here. What kind of earthly matter? Capricorn energy. I've got all the fixed signs: Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. The Ace of Swords, the opportunity is a brand new opportunity to see things very clearly in truth, see the truth of the situation. I've got the Moon card, Cancerian, mother, feminine, emotional energies. So when you've got the Moon and the Justice card with the Libra, you're going to have to see things very clearly without emotional manipulation behind it. Thinking logically at this time. Nine of Cups is here. You've got wish fulfillments twice. Be careful what you wish for, because when you're exchanging your gifts, are you really, really getting what you want out of this package? So, if you're going to be going to buy a new car, you want to make sure you get the car you want. You want power windows, you want to make sure it's got power windows. Do you really want to settle for cranking the window up and down when you're trying to drive down the road? I don't think so. Now they got cars you can speak to and it'll just automatically drive itself, open the windows for you. You know what I mean? See, there's ways we're holding ourselves back from the new things that want to come in for us. And that is involving new technology, new ways of learning, new ways of teaching, new ways of communicating, new ways of understanding. Justice and the Devil card, justice for some karmic things, for some. Ooh, Magician. Look at that. Magician and High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Swords, your intuition is telling you this. It's time to have a conversation, a truthful one, standing on your sword of truth. That your life is yours to manifest exactly what it is that you're called to be here on this planet to do. So where have you subsided your energies? I think a lot of this came in through the oppression of women in the church and also politics. Women were not even allowed to vote until just, the last 100 years or something like that. Women are still not considered to allowed to be in leadership in some areas. Look at the Muslims, you know, that's a very oppressive religion for women. Unless you're brainwashed and you were just, traditionally raised that way, you would think it's normal. But for me, that's not normal behavior. And I would never put myself in a situation to be married to a Muslim that practices where a woman has to wear a burqa and not be seen. I would never do that. Have you done something like that where you've, lowered your self-esteem and your values for another person's just because you don't want to be alone, or because this is what you've always been taught, or this is the traditions of the land? It's time to explore the world and see the truth that there are other belief systems and values and other connections out there for us to be meeting at this time. Doors are opening for us, but just be careful what you ask for, because there's a grand opportunity for a portal to be opened, for you to step through it into this whole new world where there's justice, hope, and healing, and there is wish fulfillment. I'm a little nervous. I don't know exactly what that looks like entirely for me either, but I'm going to pray about it because this is for me too. It's for us all. So I think I'll leave it there. Some of my Sunday meditations. Thank you for joining me and spending time with me. And remember, the fire is not here to burn us up, it's here to transform us. So until next time, bye.